Hey everybody, Paul Acevedo, EastX Twitch here from Windows Central. Tonight I'm joined on the mic by my old pals, Tyler and Adam.
Hello.
Hello.
I also have my nephew, Gavin McBacon, off to the side of me. And we are playing One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 for PlayStation Vita. It's also available on PlayStation 4. Ooh.
Yay.
Is it cross-buy?
It is not. It's a Japanese game, so the answer is no.
Is this the Vita version? Oh, I guess
Yes, it's playing on the PlayStation TV.
Yep. Alright.
Save file selection is a little goofy on this. You know, it prompts you, do you want to create your save file? And then you actually have to pick out of, like, I guess you could have like 8 save files and it makes you manually pick one, even though most games these days don't do that. And then when you start it up, you might still have to pick it, although this time it didn't make me pick it. So, who knows? Anyway, we've got Dream Log and Legend Log. I guess this is the two modes available to us. We're going to hop into Legend Log, I believe is the main game. Light Cycle, are you serious? I just do not like jazz music, period, and the menu music was very jazzy. This is based on the One Piece anime and manga. Very, very popular, although I think I've only seen like one episode ever. Gavin says you've never seen it either.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it appears in Shonen Jump, which is the same magazine that launched Dragon Ball, Naruto, and many other very popular comics and TV series. So let's find out if someone who is not into One Piece can enjoy the game. That would be us, right? None of us is into One Piece.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Nope, we can't save it on the phone. Or have
it looks like it's kind of recapping the storyline here, because we have the main protagonist, Luffy. He's just a little boy, whereas in the show he's already either a teenager or a man. The pre-rendered cinematic, I believe, doesn't seem to be in engine. You have Japanese voiceover with English subtitles, which is the right way to handle a game like this, in my opinion. Although if they thought it was going to be a really big seller, they probably would have dubbed it.
Yeah. At this point, then you're just appealing to the people who are like buying this on DVD, right? Not watching it on TV.
Yeah, pretty much. Does it air on Cartoon Network? That would be the only place you would actually catch it on TV.
I would guess, like during their anime blocks and stuff.
Funimation has a kind of an anime on-demand channel or something, and there's that Crunchyroll streaming service would have it. But
yes.
Yeah, those are still kind of a niche thing. 10 years later. Alright, now we're in the present day.
Baz Dawn is not happy that there's PlayStation stuff on tonight.
Who?
Yep.
Oh.
Baz
Hey, Baz Dawn.
Mr. Baz Dawn.
Why are you saying that, Baz Dawn? You know, I wish this game had also come out on Xbox systems. The problem is the Xbox One is not popular in Japan.
Yeah, some of the Musou, is that how it's pronounced? Games
yeah, some of the Warriors games.
Yeah.
Last one was Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires. A few months back. What are you doing there?
Wasn't me.
Neither one of you? That's weird.
I don't think it was me.
Gavin says he's muted. Who knows?
Yeah.
What are you hearing?
Somebody just blew in the mic for a second. Anyway, I want to talk about what this game is. This game is a spin-off of the Warriors series of games from Koei Tecmo. Other recent spin-offs. Tyler, can you name a couple?
Well, yeah, there's the Hyrule
There you
Warriors.
go. That's coming out on 3DS, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Dragon Quest Heroes, which is coming to PS4. The one you just played was...
What was it? Samurai Warriors Chronicles 2, I think. Yeah.
Okay, which is kind of not necessarily a spin. Well, I mean, would you consider that a spin-off or
At
more?
this point, it's like its own legitimate series, but I guess technically they all spun off of Dynasty Warriors, period.
Right.
99 Nights, Onimusha,
well, games that are like it are not
Devil May Cry,
spin-offs.
Bayonetta, Super Mario Bros. 3.
Super Mario Brothers.
But yeah, Koei
3.
Tecmo is able to spin it, you know, to adapt a lot of different properties to fit this gaming engine they have. And some people like me really enjoy this style of gameplay. I think it's all a matter of finding a franchise that you can enjoy with it and then giving it a shot. And as long as you have the right temperament for it, you'll probably have a lot of fun.
I kind of want them to do a monster truck one where I can be Gravedigger. Just attack 100 Bigfoots.
That's ridiculous, but what if it was WWE and they were all wrestlers? Because that would work.
You know, no, but still also that'd be cooler.
It would be rad.
They need to do one based on Gears of War.
Gears of War, yeah.
I don't know, I'm just trying to think of a Microsoft license that they could use.
What if I had to defend myself from 200 Triple H's?
I mean, or they could just be generic wrestlers for the most part, but the officers would be the real wrestlers is how it would work. And yeah, they could. Yeah. That truly would work, and it probably would be a better game than all of the wrestling games Ukes has ever made.
That's probably...
Well, you know Ukes. They came up with a game design, what, 10 years ago? And they never have changed it. Yeah.
20 years ago. Remember they did have that in WrestleMania for the GameCube, whatever that one was? They had that brawling kind of sides. They had that... There was like a brawling mode.
That's a cool idea.
You had to go up on yeah, Aww. It sucked. Yeah, it was really bad.
Icky points out there's also a Fist of the North Star spin-off of this, which is true. And there's probably a few other anime spin-offs that didn't even make it to America, for all we know. So yeah, this is your typical Warriors pre-mission screen. You can see the map and where some of the enemies and the generals are going to be. And I'm just going to go ahead and start. Missions may have a time limit. Well, here I am, I'm Luffy. I'm gonna run up and hit this treasure chest. Man, I'm such a bad PlayStation owner, I still don't have the buttons 100% memorized. But it's not my fault they're stupid shapes instead of letters.
Shapes.
Shapes are cool.
It's more to think about in your head. Like, you have to think of the word triangle and associate it with a shape and all that. Whereas letters, that is so hardwired into your brain.
Although, to be honest, I do have that. I got the shapes down now, but it did take me like 20 years.
There you go. And I never was a big PlayStation gamer. I think I've played more of my Vita and PS TV than any other PlayStation system. Even though I've owned other PlayStation systems, but they always were side systems for me.
PS2 was a great.
Well, sure it was, but I had the original Xbox, and it was a lot nicer.
Side girl.
We had the original Xbox, but then you don't. I mean,
gotta save Zoro.
What games did you have?
For the original Xbox? Well, obviously Halo 1 and 2, and Halo 2, I was a very active Halo 2 player. I actually used to be really good at it. So long ago.
Were you one of those guys hanging in there, keeping the server going?
You know, I continued to play it once the 360 had launched. I liked it better than Halo 3, but I wouldn't say that I kept it going all the way to the end. But yeah, I mean, it's one of the few games like that, competitive games, that I ever could count myself as really good at. That and Bomberman, basically.
Well, we get a new Bomberman.
Well, unfortunately, Konami is a pachinko company now, and
I didn't even think about that.
They're not
Konami bought Hudson Soft and killed it. Yeah,
oh, did
bought
they?
it and killed it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. You as a Bomberman fan, you might be kind of screwed.
Yeah, it's really horrible. Somebody could maybe license it from Konami, but that's the best you could hope for. And the sad thing is, no one besides Hudson Soft ever made a proper, fully good Bomberman game, you know? The closest thing is the Xbox 360 games, and even they are not very tight. You know, they're made by people who don't really appreciate Bomberman. But, that's
Or you might even say maybe wanted to actively destroy Bomberman by making Act Zero.
Well, that actually was made by Hudson, by some very poor-minded people. But I was thinking of the XBLA games, which were made by Backbone Entertainment, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that was a project that was always poorly conceived, Act Zero. Act Zero is a weird tribute to the very original first Bomberman game, but they made so many mistakes with it. It's a wrong-headed tribute, you know?
Yeah. Do you want to... they thought maybe someone wanted to learn about the deep lore of Bomberman.
I mean, I like the.
You know, where did Bomberman come from?
I like the first Bomberman game.
What are his motivations?
It's kind of like that. They grafted a weird. They took the instruction manual story of the original Bomberman and kind of built a new post-apocalyptic visual style out of it. And all that would be fine if the multiplayer was good and if the loading times weren't completely atrocious, but they are ridiculous, like 1 minute excess loading times, even though you could fit the whole game into the system's RAM, you know what I'm saying? It's not a complex game. Like, all the levels use the same visual assets and they're just tiny little levels, and yet you still have to wait over a minute to load the next level. They just didn't, they didn't test it or finish developing it, I would say. And then the multiplayer, the online multiplayer is pretty good, but there's no local multiplayer, which is just stupid and there's no reason for it.
Well, who wants to play that thing?
Bomberman fans.
Fools. Fools. Nice going, Silverbolt. That's cool. Getting all the Chaos Emeralds.
Really?
Sonic.
Not too shabby.
I actually think Sonic's kind of up.
I've seen so-called playing a lot of Mega Man Legacy Collection like I was playing the other day when you guys were being so uncool.
So, and that's funny that that so-called brought up Sonic, because that's the one game I did use the save states for, because like when you die in Sonic, you start over at the very beginning. So, but I still did not approve of it for Mega Man.
You have to use what's available to you, man. But I mean,
no, but because even when you die in Mega Man, you only lose the progress you made on that one level, whereas you lose hours of progress on.
Sure, but the thing,
Sonic,
you could die over and over in a Mega Man. Limited continues in the first Sonic. But no.
What? Yeah. And I never had a Genesis, so I didn't get good at it at the time.
But you could die over and over in Mega Man and just totally deplete your lives, because the level design, especially in Part 1, is really unfair. It was not made to. I mean, I honestly.
If you're gonna cite a game, it shouldn't be Mega Man, especially the first 3, as far as like level design, because those games are so well.
I mean, it's memorable. So well. The first one, I won't say the levels aren't memorable, although I think part of that is our nostalgia. But no, I think a lot of things it does by modern gaming standards would just literally be considered unfair. There are things a new game wouldn't do.
By modern gaming standards, but modern gaming standards is everyone needs to win.
No, there's challenge and then there's fairness. Gaming. Like when the enemies fly up and when you have like little or no opportunity to avoid the pitfall and you have to kind of memorize the level, it's not good level design.
How games? There's a lot of memorization in the whole game.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it good. That's just stuff they did to hide the brevity of the game. I completed the mission, but it turns out now there's a secondary mission, so more things are happening. By the way, as a Warriors fan, this is pretty fun, because this game looks so different from the Warriors games that I played, which are the more traditional ones. It really does look like a One Piece game. And not that I especially care about One Piece, but it's cool that it's so visually distinct.
I checked out some of Brian's stream. Did he talk about that Portal thing?
Oh, he streamed?
No, he streamed.
Don't you get the email notification?
Hey, just showing a little support, that's what I do.
I'm too busy today.
It was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yesterday I wasn't going to play. Yeah, I had a friend in town. We went out to eat and
What'd you play?
First we played FIFA, and then we played the golf club.
How's the golf club?
Boring but fun.
It's extremely like, not bare bones is the right word, but there's like
minimalistic? I don't know.
Yeah, minimalistic maybe for like, it's so focused on the golf, and there's like not a really career mode, which kind of kills the single player a little bit. The actual golf is pretty damn good. It's certainly on par with with Tiger Woods.
With that,
Tiger Woods has like lots of other features that people really like, whereas the golf club, that's pretty much all it has.
And don't you think it's a little too hard to judge what the strength of your hit's going to be? You just plain have to memorize kind of how the ball goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how the best golfers play, is you basically just hit it to your full strength every time, except for when you're chipping. And then you just start using the right club, you club up or club down to figure out where to go. Yes, on some of the shorter approach shots, there was definitely a bit of an issue.
And putting, isn't even putting kind of challenging? For me it is anyway.
Putting can be challenging. That one you do get used to easier, the actual stroke, because it's quite similar. Like, there's only so far back you can go and only so far you can hit it, whereas if you're trying to hit maybe like a 90-yard shot with a wedge, like, I mean, if you're trying to hit it 70%, you can do 100% and completely clear it, or you can do 40% and not get anywhere close. Like, so I definitely agree with that. Putting, it takes some time though too, for sure, but I think putting is fine once you learn how to do it.
I've just lowered the volume of the game, so please let me know if you can hear us better now, guys. Got another little cinematic.
Hey, Rainbow.
Rainbow Unicorn in the
Rainbow Unicorn, great to see you. It has been a long time.
Rainbow was actually moderating another stream, so she like stopped by at the beginning of the stream, but then had to go because she was moderating another one, which is
maybe
cool.
we should make her a moderator. We could always use more of those, right? We won't stop until everyone's a moderator.
No, the chat is only 100% swords right now.
You picked the perfect time to come back because I also have returned. And despite Paul's insistence that I never be on another stream again, I've managed to avoid his iron fist of domination, and here I am, back on the stream.
You know, a lot of the streams we do lately are they're multiplayer streams of either an Xbox One or PC game, and you know, it's just a shame that you can't participate in those, man. So you need to get some more hardware.
Sure.
Give it the times.
Yeah.
Interesting how you always choose those weird multiplayer games.
You should get a PS4 so you can play Rocket League games.
I will. I'm going to get a PS4 to spite.
Aww. Hey, I'm going to get a PS4 someday, but I don't know if I can get it this year.
Hey, Lil Fryer. Lil Fryer, it has been a while since he has joined us as well.
Hey, Lil Fryer. This doesn't seem like your kind of game, but it's fun for me.
Adam, I get confused for you a lot. They're like, are you the Canadian one? I'm like, no, I'm the Mormon one.
There you go.
Oh, the Mormons?
Yeah, so tell us about Xenu, Tyler.
Mormons and Canadians are really the same thing.
Xenu's good. There's a Mormon basketball player that actually just committed to go to Duke. Like, he's a five-star
got a trophy
or something, basketball. Went to high school out here.
Hit him.
How will he get to the games if he can't drive?
And what'll happen when he's too sleepy because he can't drink any caffeine? He's gonna throw the whole game.
Wait, Mormons can't drive?
They have to drive horses and buggies, aren't they?
As I understand it, yes.
That's awesome. Oh, you guys are so
No, actually, they have to ride bicycles. Come on, Adam.
There you go.
That thing with motors?
Yeah, I think
is that the rule?
It has to be propelled by locomotion of the body.
What about e-bikes? Oh
Yeah,
god, I hate e-bikes. You know, e-bikes, there's got to be a rule somewhere coming soon. Because they do nothing but clog up the street with their stupid e-bike. Ugh. Every day, every morning, there's this huge guy on this tiny e-bike blocking the road, and I gotta go around him. I gotta like take side streets because I know he's gonna be there. Trying to go get his Egg McMuffin in the morning, but I got things to do.
Does anyone actually know what an e-bike is besides Adam? That's what I was afraid of.
Adam, like,
don't know what you're talking about, man.
You know what e-bikes are? E-bikes are like, there's actually an e-bike dealership here. They're electric. And they have there's no,
so they're
like,
scooters?
You don't need a license. Yeah, well, no, they're not a scooter. It's a little electric bike. But you don't need a license. So you can just, I think it's like as if you had a bike. Just like a pedal bike. So, except that you know, if they're on the road, you got to slow down. You got to go around them. And they're like all over the place, and they're really annoying.
So do the people's feet actually move while the electricity is going? Like it moves the pedals for them?
No, it's like a little motorcycle. It's like a little
scooter.
So
we would call that an electric scooter. We wouldn't call it a bike at all.
Well, yeah, it looks more, I don't know. I think it might be there might be a difference, there might not be a difference. I don't know.
It does sound like it'd be hard to tell.
E-bike might be a
Oh,
brand.
who's about to have a birthday?
I see that.
Light
a rainbow
Cycle says they're
unicorn.
powered by maple syrup. Cool, a rainbow unicorn?
Dude, if you could power a car by maple syrup, you'd have a
And moose
winner.
dropping.
Moose droppings, oh god.
Isn't there another series that uses this gameplay? There's about a dozen
Yeah,
of them.
yeah, we've talked
So-
about that.
No, are you sure? I'm pretty sure this
Rainbow
is the only
Unicorn, what are you gonna do for your birthday? She's young, so I assume she's gonna have some kind of big outlandish party.
Wait, you're not really turning 12, are you?
No, she's older than that.
That's- Really young.
No, she's... I mean, there's no way she would be as good at typing as she is if that was her true age. I don't believe it.
I don't know. Dynasty Warriors 57, the curse of...
It's kind of like how Adam's actually in his early 50s and we always just, you know, change it to 49.
That's incorrect.
Yeah, it's like Hyrule Warriors.
It's not correct.
Halo, Dragon Warrior Heroes is
Lies.
coming out. That's exactly like that. Well, very similar. And you can see like the character enemy models are like the exact
Yeah.
same.
And I think if you were into the show One Piece that you would get a huge kick out of this. But I also think that people who just like the Warriors games in general probably would have a lot of fun. I'm having a good time so far. Although the enemies in this particular level are very, very similar looking. I wouldn't mind some more visual variety. They're all dressed the same as you can see, but I bet
It does.
probably changes by level.
Okay.
Hey, Mongox.
Unbox!
It bothers me that they can't even bother to spawn them behind you. Like, they spawn. They just you know, materialize right in front of you. It's like they know the people that play these games don't care, so they do it.
I guess they just don't see it as something that needs to be hidden or obscured. Better go ahead and get up to where I'm supposed
I don't
to go.
know.
It does take away from realism, you could certainly say, but
Yeah, I'm worried this game isn't realistic enough.
yeah, I just don't think realism is very much of a concern. Again, this is more like...
Does that guy really stretch like that in the
Yes,
cartoon?
he does. It's his gimmick. He's very stretchy and... Doesn't he have kind of a one-track mind? Icky could tell us better, but I think he has kind of a one-track mind about becoming the Pirate King or finding whatever treasure they're currently hunting, that kind of stuff. I've got an AI partner running around. There's probably ways to give him minor directions, because there are in the other games. Just haven't really learned everything yet.
Icky says the show is like that, like these guys materialize. I don't know.
That can't be.
I don't know if I can believe you.
I think he's teasing you. Oh, I zoomed the
Is it?
map
So
in somehow.
since it's a PlayStation game, can we talk about cool PlayStation stuff for a minute?
Depends
Yeah, let's
what you
do that.
got.
Yeah. I got PlayStation Plus lineup, which came out today, which has Super Time Force Ultra, and Grow Home, and Zeo Drifter.
Nice.
So I'm excited to play all those games. And out of the blue, the game Foul Play. I don't know if you've heard of that, Paul. It's like
You know, Adam and I might be a little bit familiar
Stopping.
with Foul Play.
Yeah, we played a bunch
We
of Foul
did.
Play.
We played through the whole
Nice.
game
It came
together.
out on PS4 today, out of the blue, and it's part of their PlayStation
Bye,
Heroes
Gavin, miss you.
program, which is like you can donate money and you get like themes and things like that. But they actually made it so you can donate money and get the game.
Yeah, cool.
For a certain level of donation, so I picked that up too.
That's a fun. It's a pretty fun
The only
little
thing
brawler.
it really needed
Yeah, I
was
like it.
voice acting. Voice acting would add so much to
Yeah,
it.
we came away. Yeah, we came away thinking it needed voice acting. The writing's actually pretty good.
Yes.
The game's pretty fun, but just thought maybe voice acting would have helped it along a bit. But
Yeah,
it's
let
a
me
pretty
give you an
good game.
example. I'm playing
Cool.
for my Windows 10 Platformers Roundup. I was playing a game called Leo's Fortune that's also available on Android and iOS. And Leo's Fortune is a really good platformer. One of the things that's so good about it is the main character, Leo. He's this Russian guy. It's like Leopold. And his voice just adds so much character to the game in the cinematics and even just during gameplay when he says things. So Leo's Fortune would not be as good a game as it is if Leo didn't have the character created by that voice acting.
I think the thing about that Foul Play is, if I recall, is that like some of the comedy kind of relies on delivery. You know what I mean? Like the way it's delivered. You could tell they try to do that with the way the text scrolls on the screen and stuff like that. It just would have been a little bit nicer with some voice acting. That's all. But it's a fun game.
Cool. Yeah, I played a
Woo,
little bit of it
trophy.
earlier today. And the online seems to work pretty well, which is nice.
Yeah.
By the way,
So I've been playing the hot new game Metal Gear Solid 2.
ooh, isn't that the worst in the series?
It is.
I
No.
heard that it is.
Actually, I
Don't
played
hear it.
Metal Gear Solid 3. I made it almost an hour in before I realized that I wanted to kill myself while playing. So
Yeah,
I
I've never seen the appeal of the series in general, although Part 5 certainly sounds like a wonderful game.
I've tried so hard to understand the appeal, and it's just not for me, and so I just have to quit.
Alright.
But Adam, seriously, like even people who really like Metal Gear think Part 2 is the worst in the series.
I think that may have been the... I mean, that may be the worst? I don't know. I mean, the other games...
Oh, a lot of people love.
I've not played 4,
It's the
because
most
that's on
divisive, for sure.
PS3. But,
Well, 4 is nothing but movies, so that kind of works against it, but
there's a lot of stuff to it, too.
they last
but-
over an hour,
I
or at least one of them does.
I like 2. Just like it.
Well,
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the least of the main games. But
yeah, I mean that
like
doesn't necessarily make it bad.
it. Yeah, maybe if you want to put it that way, maybe I could say that.
It's the most divisive. I would definitely put it that way. Some people love Metal Gear Solid 2, and others, it's definitely their least favorite.
Woo!
Well, there were a lot of people that were originally pretty upset by it because it pulled a fast one on them. But I
Yes,
think
it did.
yeah, but I think over time, I think people maybe appreciate it a little more.
Metal Gear Solid. I got Mad Max. I haven't played it yet. I got it.
Steve Rule's been playing some Peace Walker. That's cool. Just before the Phantom Pain, which is cool because that's the one that leads into the Phantom Pain.
That story is so bad.
Rainbow's gonna do a swim party or what? She's gonna do a birthday
Yeah, she had a
party.
swim party for her
Want to do
birthday
swim
party.
party, but her party's too cold. Pool is too cold. She did glow in the dark. I don't know what that means. Sounds like fun. Shivers. Dip dip dip. For after I'm pissed about Metal Gear Solid 2. Yeah, see that's the thing is if you were waiting for Metal Gear Solid 2, like I played these well after they were out. In fact, I tried to play them a few times before and I could not get into them. And it just, for whatever reason, they sort of clicked. So that's all I can say. But yeah, I think looking back at it, I think Metal Gear Solid 2 is a pretty cool game, but a lot of people were upset when it originally came out, so you know. And then of course Metal Gear Solid 3, here you are, you're thinking, well now all that crap happens at the end of part 2. I need to find out what happens. And once again, Kojima says,
Yeah,
no,
it'd be pretty
we're
cool.
just going to talk about something else. Forget it.
Remove the radar, remove, most of the things you've learned. Make it a
Well-
dress-up game.
Did you play, you probably played the HD one, right?
The what?
Did-
The HD one?
you played
yeah, the PS3
Okay,
version.
so you're playing the, whatever it's called, the, because, they did that re-release version of part 3.
Substance or substance.
Subsistence.
Yeah. Those weird words that don't really make sense.
Subsistence. That's a word, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Wait, sustenance
Think-
is a word.
I think
Is subsistence a
I think
word?
it and revengeance are about the same.
I don't know if subsistence is a word, actually.
I don't think it is.
Oh, rave birthday party. Oh, yeah. Everyone's got backpacks. They got little glowy lights. I know what you're talking about. My Little
That's right.
Ponies. What do you call them? Hello Kitties. Hello Kitty backpacks. I had a buddy that was into raves.
I've never been to one.
No?
No.
He's like super into it. He's like, I will not drink. Oh, but I will put all kinds of drugs in my face.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. He's okay now, though. He married a teacher. He's got like passel of kids.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, everyone says your mic is
But
muted.
you were hearing me, weren't you?
Nope.
You hear me now?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Now I do.
I was just saying the teachers are hot. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know my mom's a teacher.
Well, I wasn't gonna say anything at him, but no.
Girls Toy Store students.
So it's a good thing that story scene was
So-
long enough for me to run to the restroom.
Yeah, that worked.
S
out
ranks
good.
are not obtainable on difficulty easy, so it looks like you'll have to play through on a higher difficulty if you want to get the best stuff. The way the Warriors games usually work is that you are encouraged to play through all the levels on easy first, just to like build up your characters and unlock things. Then you go back and do them on progressively higher difficulties. There's a lot of replay value if you have the patience for it. Because you get stronger every time and all that kind of stuff. There's like, I mean, it has really good grinding mechanics. Tyler hates grinding. I love grinding. So
I like grinding. It depends what I'm grinding though. Like it just depends on the
think
game.
of Resident Evil 5's grinding,
If
right?
it-
That
if-
was good grinding. Yeah.
5? I mean that's not really grinding. That's just you're going through the game.
Yeah, but you would also grind for money to use to unlock things.
But that's. You mean what you just play the
Yeah,
same
like
level
chapter
over and over
3.
again?
Chapter 3 was.
Oh,
the
I
best
never
for
did that.
You didn't do that at all, and you still
Didn't have
unlocked everything. No,
Yeah.
you would have to replay levels some. You're
No, I just played the game like 8 times.
okay, but that's the same difference.
So
you got a
let's
crew
see. Little Fire saying something weird about teachers. So-called gamer says it was better muted. I don't know what that means,
That's
Paul.
cool. So
Classic
cool.
stuff.
Yeah. Brian is talking about Molly.
One day I was teasing. I
I
was teasing.
says she has an ugly
Aw,
teacher.
There's no such thing.
All our teachers are old. Old does not mean ugly.
Yeah, people can be
Well,
old and
compared to
sexy.
you,
You know.
you're old.
I used to
teacher's
like
pet.
older ladies. And younger ladies. And ladies my
Things
age.
going on in chat.
I liked them all. Yes, very active chat. Good to see you guys so active. Got a good, lovable crew.
A hardcore.
I'm missing
crew.
all this tutorial
And
stuff because I'm
so-called.
not paying attention to it at all.
Push the square button until
Yeah,
everything
square. 400,000 times push square and.
I'm gonna be so lost the next time I play this for real.
dies. These games should have a square button counter. You know, like you could press start to see how many times you push
It's
it.
not the only button
Yeah.
you use, so that's silly.
That's the only
Triangle.
button.
You have a
Triangle's
strong and a
cross
weak
combo.
attack, and they do combos and stuff, so it really isn't.
Oh. Okay. Actually, I actually played one or two of these games before, and I liked them.
Yeah, and if it's for a property you like, then you'll get an extra level of pleasure out of it. You know, like a lot of people with Zelda or
Oh,
Dragon Quest, they're really going to get into those games. And those are games with a little bit of a higher budget than the normal Dynasty Warriors or Samurai Wars, but they're not
That's
leagues ahead or anything.
Yeah,
It's
true.
just that people will appreciate them more because they like the characters and the story more. Online mode is now.
I bought a lot of crappy games because they're based on something I liked.
Yeah, like weren't you really into Total Recall for the NES? Trophy.
No,
That
I
game was
played a lot
awful.
of the Predator though.
I
Which was
never
awful.
got to play that one. Another trophy.
Predator was terrible.
Hey,
Oh,
look,
it was
does
the
everyone
worst
want to see
game.
my PlayStation Network login info? There you go. Dude, it just keeps giving me
Nice.
trophies. I don't even know what I'm doing to get them.
Deadpool on PS3 and Xbox 360 is coming to PlayStation 4 and
How do we
Xbox
feel
One.
about that? Online, people are complaining that
Speaking
it's
of
going to cost
license.
$50.
It's going to cost $50.
Yeah.
That seems a
Yeah,
bit
in a
pricey.
world where you have this wonderful Gears of War remake for $40, and probably there's some Sony equivalents for lesser prices, it does seem
Right.
kind of too much. And also, if it's anything like the prototype remake, then it's not even going to be enhanced, which would suck. So
Right.
let's hope they at least do a good job on it.
Seems doubtful to
knowing
me.
Activision.
I think they sold enough. I think they sold enough of prototype to justify more.
I can't
that's
believe
the whole
anyone
thing.
bought prototype on purpose. I just can't believe it.
I know. It's crazy what people will buy.
This does have some kind of online mode, which the last game I played didn't. You can create some kind of online request for help or something. I just did it. I don't know what it means. Well, I guess we're finding out.
Deadpool is $50, Lil Fryer. The new Deadpool HD, quote unquote.
Yeah, but I never got to play that game, and I'm interested in it, especially now that a Deadpool movie that actually looks really good is in the works. So that
Right.
I mean, they're going to pick up a lot of purchases just from that.
Hopefully.
Daily growth.
Probably part of their grand scheme.
Yeah, I'm sure that has something to do with the
Yeah.
re-release, because that game was a just kind of drop it out of an airplane and see what happens. You know, nobody really cares about that game, and then
What is this?
here it is. It's getting a re-release.
Does anyone know what belly is? It looks like it's a kind of currency. I have belly, but I can't.
That's like what you.
I don't know. I'm in something called belly growth. I think it is a way to spend the currency you've earned to level up your character. I think.
Yep. Race to 4.
Alright, we're trying this online. We're gonna see what it's like. Rainbow Unicorn.
Belly is
You're the
dollars.
coolest.
Says Icky.
Okay, but that's not real money. We do all know that's not real money, right?
And the reworked. I think for $40, the reworked multiplayer in Gears.
Yeah, it's not just a little bit of work. They
because
put a lot of work into it.
in my opinion, and really, my opinion is pretty important. They probably, to me, the campaign was just like, here's the campaign, but we all know you want the multiplayer.
But I mean,
Well, people will play through the campaign again, but the multiplayer is looking to keep them around for sure.
They will.
they
yeah,
put a lot
for
of
sure.
work into that campaign. Like the actual environments are all completely redone in the campaign, which is a fact that's lost on some people. And then the multiplayer, I guess also the environments are redone, but it's less noticeable because they kept the geometry simpler so that it would run at 60 frames per second. Play this episode and wait. We'll try that. Once participants have been found, you will start over from the beginning. So it has kind of an Xbox One style asynchronous matchmaking mode. We following that, guys?
No.
Yeah, I
Nope.
chose to play this level online.
Not
There's
at all.
nobody actually playing online. What a shame. But if it finds anyone while I'm playing the level, then we'll get matched up. Just like Xbox
Oh,
One
that's
games.
cool. I always like
Yeah,
when they do
it's a
that.
good feature. Bria's asking what Rainbow Unicorn wants to do for a living. I guess I'd like to know that too, if she has already picked something. Put the story on so
but-
called.
If I may offer a dissenting opinion, Little Friar, it was more than just a visual bump in the multiplayer side. They made some changes. They added all those maps. They made some actual fundamental changes. They brought in some changes from the other games that weren't in the first Gears. So I think they did quite a bit of work to it. And I think $40 is probably a fair
Yeah.
price.
Well,
I mean, I guess you can't separate the fact that you get the other 4
professional
games too.
YouTuber.
It's pretty great.
That is
That's
a nice
pretty great
bonus,
deal.
definitely. But no, I don't think we'll find a lot of people who will agree with him on dollar values of games. So it's kind of not really a good subject to dwell on because we'll just all end up saying, no, you're wrong, Little Friar. So
Yeah.
$6. $6 is good for that game, I think.
Everyone's welcome to set their own prices, personal prices, which is great, and I do it myself. But if you don't like it, you don't buy it, and you just wait for it to
But
be
by
on
the
sale.
standards of remakes, I mean, it's just one of the best modern console remakes there is of a classic game. And
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's in regards to price, it's on par with
There
God
you
of
go.
War 3, another extremely popular game. Gears obviously has the huge amount of longevity that God of War doesn't, simply due to the multiplayer.
yeah, and it's a lot more work because of the multiplayer mode. Because
I agree, for sure.
And I guess it isn't just one game. It is the 4 games. Although eventually, if you wait too long, at some point, I don't know what it is.
yeah,
you
I
won't
think it's
get the
only for
game.
this year. And also, the Windows 10 users don't get the emulated games because there's no official emulator for Windows 10.
Oh yeah, you get all the old games for backwards compatibility.
Yeah, just
huh?
as a really nice
Yeah.
bonus, and I think that's going to help it get momentum going, so they have a big multiplayer fan base that'll continue even when the game is selling slower in the future months. By the way, this girl has always been drawn really busty, and she's got this super thin waist. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
There's, you know, there's
Wow.
sexism issues, but if you,
Well, and I mean, and I know that they obviously have a unique style, like their arms stretch out and stuff like that. So, you know, they're not drawn to human form, but there's obviously still.
it's kind of like Dragon's Crown in a way, except I mean, in Dragon's Crown, the guys are kind of grotesque too, and I wouldn't necessarily say that for, I don't know, but anyway, these guys do have pretty cartoonish faces though. Like the clown guy. Ew. Is Beauty Guru a real job? Like, is that being like, you write a beauty column online or something, I guess would be what?
Yeah, I think she's talking about like YouTube type of thing. It's actually quite popular over there. Sure, it's extremely hard to get ingrained into.
Yeah, Steve Rules makes a good point there. They put a lot more work into remastering Gears than God of War 3, and there's nothing wrong with how they did God of War 3, but just if you're going to compare their dollar value, it compares favorably.
Okay, we've met in the middle with Little Friar.
Great.
Good. I think we should end
God of
this.
War 3...
End this before something
See, what
explodes.
God of War 3 should really have is a mode where you can make Kratos not be a huge a-hole.
Yeah, he's kind of a jerk.
I do not like him. It actually turns me away from the series. Like, I like the interpretations
Yeah,
of the
I mean, I can
monsters
see
and
that.
stuff.
I do like Kratos, but it's like he's like unnecessarily jerkish sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, God, dial it down a bit, but I guess...
Yeah, but that's what he's been established as. I much prefer the gameplay of God of War versus Gears, but that's gonna be completely
Those are totally
subjective.
different. But I love both. Both series really to me.
The only one I played was the PSP one, the first one.
Gears, and
The only God of War you played was the PSP.
Yeah, and it
one?
was considered a decent game, but it didn't hook me.
Oh, well, yeah, because. No. Well, I don't know if it's gonna stand up now, but man, like seeing that, like on the PS2, that game was amazing. Like, you know, back in the day when you first got it, and the first time you got to that giant, you know, that Hydra on the boat, you know, that first monster you fight was incredible. It was incredible. The sense of scale in that game.
Yeah, at the time, it
still
did
looks
really well with
it
that.
still looks excellent.
Agreed. One of my ex-girlfriends. Oh, a guy joined the session, but then he left. That stinks. I wonder if he joined and I just didn't notice because the story was going on so long. But one of my ex-girlfriends actually had God of War, and she brought it over and showed it to me one time. She was so awesome. I should not have let her slip away. She also made costumes for conventions and stuff, and looked good in them. Very good. We're gonna start. Have you guys ever had one that you felt got away? You know, a good one that got away? You've been with yours for a long time, Adam, so...
Yeah. I don't know.
No.
Aww.
No.
I am a sentimental guy.
I was accused of being a robot earlier.
Dang it,
today,
Tyler. Yeah, you gotta appreciate them, dude. But no, here's a little story about the ladies in my life. There is a lady in my life from a certain northern state, a very near Canadian
Canada.
state. No, I mean state of America. But yeah. Anyway,
Fargo.
no, you don't. It's okay if you don't remember. But no, from Wisconsin. But yeah. Anyway, she, you know, I met her. God, I'm saying you know too much. I really have to learn not to do that. Anyway. She left a real impression on me. I've met her a couple of times, and I had some of the best times in my life, and I really wanted to take it to another level and reduce the distance between us. Unfortunately, that wasn't in the cards, and hey, it found a multiplayer person. Alright. And we did differ on some issues. Like, there are some fundamental issues, like, say, recreational drug use, where we don't have the same opinion and lifestyle choice. But still, just as far as getting along and having a good time with this person, it was such a great time. And one of the things that I do to remember her is that I wear these Wisconsin wristbands that we got when I was visiting. And like I wore them in my recent trip to Latvia. And some of the people there, they were asking me about it. And one of the guys was really teasing me about it. Like, why are you so sentimental? You know, but I can't help it. I'm a sentimental guy. But I don't, you know, it doesn't hurt me that that we can't be together. It's just that I still, you know, I'm happy that she's happy, and I can just be happy in my own life doing my own thing, but it doesn't mean that I don't still think of her fondly. There's my romantic story. Isn't it great?
So here's a related story. Well, not really.
Dang
I
it.
found a
Multiplayer.
sweater from an ex that she used to wear, and it was her dad's sweater that she used to wear because he died.
Wow.
And she left it here.
Aw, you should give it back to her, dude.
Okay, here's the thing. Should I give it back to her? Because I don't really want to see her.
Do you want to...
But
I feel bad. Every time I look at this sweater, I feel like, oh my god, I'm the worst
Yeah.
person in the world because I have her dad's death sweater.
Can't you just mail it to her?
Oh,
But
it's just like right across the street from my best friend.
then get your best friend to give it back to
Have your
her.
best friend give it back.
Yeah, no, it's just the right thing to do, Adam.
Yeah,
Is it?
I would do it too. Yeah.
Oh man,
Because it doesn't mean anything to you, but it
been
means
like-
something to her.
But it's
It's been like 4 years.
It's your choice. Like, there's either you don't want to see her because you really honestly don't want to see her, or you don't want to see her because you know, whatever. So
Was she
Just don't
mean
wanna
to
see her,
you?
Don't want to see her.
then just give it to your friend to give to.
Yeah, that's a simple solution.
Like you can. There's a lot of ways to give that back to her without actually even having
But
to
what?
see her.
But what's she mean to you?
Yeah. No. In fact, it was my fault. I was
Claire.
I'm not the best. Let me say, I'm not the best relationship guy.
Who is?
So, I'll make some mistakes here and there.
You're
But
only human.
it's just the past. I like to leave the past in the past.
Yeah, and I understand that, but you can. That's what I'm saying is you can give her the sweater while still living.
Yeah, I should probably give her
You
the
should.
sweater. Damn it.
You'll feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just do it for selfish reasons.
So why am I not jumping? I thought this was a jump button. It looks like the jump button just dashes, but I could swear it was jumping earlier.
Rainbow is
Middleman delivery. I could
Yeah,
I could probably arrange some
she
middleman
knows.
delivery. It's I don't really. I was thinking. You know what I was thinking is just putting it on the porch. Just leaving it there in a bag or
Wow.
something.
Yeah, you can do that.
So me and this
That's what I said, Brian.
some kind of story thing just happened.
Listen, don't yell at me, Rainbow. I'm very. I have a lot of mixed feelings.
Yeah, what is Little Friar is suggesting is negative? Is anyone following that chain of conversation?
Rainbow Unicorn says they get real southern down there, which I'm not sure exactly
Down
what
where?
that meant. And I think that's what Lil Fryer was asking.
What do you mean?
Down
you
in
people?
Wisconsin?
Yeah, what? Not you people, but you people.
Yeah, okay. See, Light Cycle has been sentimental. Good man.
It's not diseased. It's not diseased. It's just a sweater.
Yeah.
There's a new season of Real Husbands of Hollywood on Netflix. Does anyone here watch that? That's like the most underrated
Are
show
you serious, Tyler?
possible. It's great.
It's a reality show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a spoof reality show with Kevin Hart and Nelly and JB Smoove was in it, but he's not anymore.
Okay, wait a minute. But there was a reality show like Real Housewives of like Beverly Hills or
Yeah,
something.
that's what it's making fun of. Real Husbands of Hollywood.
Oh, okay. I was confused for a minute.
Yeah. And so it has like these kind of, I mean, besides Kevin Hart, a lot of them are like the B-list or C-list actors. And I think the original premise was that like their wives are actually more popular and bringing in more money than they are, so they just kind of hang out and stuff. And it's gone way off the rails from there, but it's a really funny kind of spoof reality show. And I mean, I'm actually not that big of a Kevin Hart fan,
Yeah,
but I
neither
really
am I.
like it.
But that does sound alright from what you said. And Rainbow Unicorn is clarifying that she is actually from Georgia, which is considered the South. So I don't think she was talking bad about the
Right.
South. I think maybe
Sorry
a little
about that.
miscommunication there. One of my coworkers at Windows Central's from that state. They have some kind of gaming conference, like a game developer conference coming up. Maybe it just happened. I don't know. Not PAX, but some kind of Georgia-specific one. I forget the name though, because since I am not going to it, I didn't pay any kind of attention.
Dragon Con, I think, but I don't know if that's what
No,
you're
this
talking
one's
about.
like
but I think
fairly
Dragon Con's
developer oriented, so it had
Oh,
more of a
okay.
mature
Yeah,
name.
this isn't it. Yeah, this isn't at all. This is NerdCon 2015.
I heard in Georgia, instead of glow sticks, they use fireflies and mason jars. Is that true? NASCAR. I know two things about NASCAR. I know that they always go left and that there's a driver named Dick Trickle.
It's really all you need to know.
Those are the things I've learned about NASCAR.
And some Ricky Bobby references.
Dragon
Those
Con
make
is
me
in
confused.
Atlanta. Yeah, I'm not a big vehicle moving fast against other fast moving vehicles kind of guy.
Talladega Nights. The Legend of Ricky Bobby.
F1 is cool. Have you ever watched any F1?
I already got tired of Will Ferrell.
Oh,
I
it's.
saw that.
I still think it's really good. It has the guy Borat, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah,
I like him a lot.
he's funny. Road courses go right. You were corrected.
What?
NASCAR.
He's not even. He's just making that up. Somebody Wikipedia that. I thought the cars couldn't even drive right. I thought they had to put them on like trailers and then
Trophy.
tow them right.
Let's make sure we're not being antagonistic to Rainbow, right? Because we wouldn't want that. We wouldn't want anyone to be antagonistic towards Rainbow, so let's make sure that's not what's happening in chat.
Why would it be antagonistic?
Because she likes NASCAR.
Oh, she was joking. No one likes NASCAR.
No, you're not antagonistic in the least.
Oh, I guess I'm just kidding. Probably.
Yeah, no. Female.
Mason jars. I knew it. Fireflies and mason jars.
Woo!
I knew it. I know stuff about
I
Georgia.
don't think I've ever seen a firefly
Help Nami advance
What?
and take Buggy's treasure.
You got fireflies
Like,
all over the place here.
in real life. I don't think we have them there.
No?
I had a bee in my kitchen. That was terrible.
Every time I hear a well, first of all, every time I hear a firefly, I think of Firefly, which is a cool show. But then I think of that one of the most annoying songs in the world. That 1,000,000 fireflies. You know that song?
I do not know it.
Oh, there's very little that grates on me more than that ridiculous song.
Who's your favorite driver, Rainbow?
Dick Trickle.
No, he doesn't even race anymore.
Dick Trickle's real? What? He doesn't race?
He doesn't race anymore.
What about Jeff Gordon? Does he race?
Yeah, he does.
What about Ivan Iron Man Stewart?
I don't know who that is.
He had a
Yeah,
video
Super
game
Off-Road.
named after him. Yeah.
Is Toad still racing for the Mario Kart series?
That's better.
He's always been. I like him because of his low center of gravity.
Oh, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And he
Yuck.
can carry things and throw them without being weighed down by them, right? Isn't that
Toad was my favorite in Mario Kart.
Whoa, what is Brian saying is dead?
I don't know.
Oh,
Can't understand it. It's all.
Wasn't there a NASCAR race the other day
Oh,
where a
that's-
piece of flying debris knocked some guy out? It actually might have been a different
did
racing
like
sport,
that.
but it was one of those.
Was it
racing-
NASCAR?
It-
I
it
think it
was
might have been
not-
F1.
It was not NASCAR, and it did a lot more
Is
than
he
knock
okay?
him out.
No.
No, unfortunately
die?
not.
Oh,
did
that
die.
sucks.
He did die? Oh, yeah. Last I heard, he was in a coma.
Yeah, he passed away.
First Wes Craven and now this guy. Actually, it's probably the opposite order.
Oh, I was legitimately bumming because of
I'm
West
s-
Is he still making movies?
Yeah,
dead.
you can't make movies after you die, Tyler.
Was he still making
Um,
movies?
For me, he didn't make any more movies after The People Under the Stairs, but still,
Yeah, I mean, he did all the Scream movies.
like I said.
He was in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
He did a lot of like he was involved in a lot of like helping young kind of up and coming horror guys. Like he would produce a lot.
Yeah,
of
he
movies
produced
and
some
stuff.
really crappy movie called They. Deborah made me watch it a long time ago, like back the first time we dated. Was not very good.
Well, that's old.
Yeah, it was. I mean, for one thing, They
No
is a
girlfriend
stupid
to
title,
be
but
so.
also it was not a satisfying movie to watch.
They is.
Thank you. I don't know what's happening here.
What would you prefer to watch? Have you ever seen Them?
Yeah, that's a different story. No,
That's the
from
ants,
the
right?
50s? Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it always makes me think of They Live, which is a great movie, but it's not They Live.
There she is.
Yeah.
But we've been meaning to watch They Live ever since Roddy Piper died a few weeks back. We're gonna get around to it pretty soon.
Oh yeah. Oh, They Live is
Oh, yes.
fantastic. Yeah. And then you can watch the cripple fight in South Park, and
Oh, that's from that movie. I knew it was based like on a shot for shot from some movie or something.
yeah, it
Really?
is.
I don't know if I've seen that. Any idea what season it's from?
Oh, it's really
I'm
early.
If you Google like South Park cripple fight, you'll see it on YouTube, and I'm sure someone's matched it up with the fight scene in whatever movie that is that you guys are talking
See,
about.
I was one of the guy to walk in and go, "All right, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of ass." It's a joke that
No.
writes itself.
Oh. Not.
Come on,
Really?
see, Tyler's
No.
never heard it. No one has ever used it, and it's such a simple parody.
Why? I saw a clip of the 80s movie that looked really good that I'd never heard of before I saw the
Oh yeah,
clip.
Big Trouble in Little China?
It is called Top
Oh.
Secret. It looked funny. The clip I saw was Val Kilmer and some guy were fighting on a truck
Yeah, I know what movie that is.
into the water, and then there was like a whole bar fight scene underwater, like with guys there playing cards and everything. It's like a spoof on like action movies, I guess. But it looked really funny based on that clip.
It's an airplane type.
I get
That
it
kind
mixed
of
up with Gotcha.
Right.
Does it have anything to do with Gotcha? There's a movie called Gotcha, and there's an NES game of it, just like there's an NES game called Top Secret.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Go
Yeah,
13.
that's the thing. They're not related as far as
Go-Go
movies
13.
go. But
Yeah. I had Go 13.
nice. I always wanted to play that. I read about it in
I used to
Nintendo
love that
Power,
game.
but I never got to play it.
It's
Yeah,
really
Swisslers, good to see you.
Lots of different modes and things.
Yeah. By the way, Rainbow Unicorn says that the fall is really nice in Georgia and that they make s'mores, which are the best.
Fall's pretty much the best season everywhere, probably.
Do they have the fall in Canada? I don't think they do.
Only
Yeah.
winter.
No, we import it.
Imported.
No, you just said it's like 93 up there.
Yeah, man.
Miserable. If you're in Canada, you should at least not have to deal with hot weather.
No, I do deal with hot weather. It's warm.
I activated that at the wrong
I know,
time.
that's what I mean.
Yeah, it's a real
The
bummer,
benefit of living in Canada should be that at least it doesn't get too hot.
Bring it on,
right? But it
Right.
does. It's like the opposite of what should be awesome.
Right?
buddy.
No,
That.
Yeah, 90.
we agree.
And then when you get to the hundreds, oh man.
It very rarely gets that hot, but it does
Yeah.
get to be mid 90s
Yeah.
in the summer, which is a bummer. But also super humid.
Yeah.
Like that's even worse than the heat. Is the
Yeah,
really
we have
high
that a
humidity.
lot in my part of Texas. Humidity.
We have no humidity here.
Treasure
I
event.
think it was on the top 10 driest cities in the U.S.
He called me Rubber Boy. That's harassment right there.
Icky, I'm going to purge that because I don't believe that anyone needs to know that. That's
Yeah.
secret. That's like a secret
Oh,
for yourself.
yeah, oh yeah.
That's like a,
we actually do keep that to ourselves, Icky. We just say we're going to the restroom.
Maybe that's a culture thing.
Possibly. But yeah, nobody needs to imagine exactly what you're doing in there. Just be like, be right back, going
For
to...
all we know, you're washing your hands for 6 minutes.
Be right back, whacking it. It's like, you don't say that, right? You just say, going to the restroom.
I say it sometimes, but
Ah, this guy's body
Not
came
if I
off of
should
his
just-
head.
Did it?
She's got his limbs all tied up to some explosives. Oh, that's crazy.
how do you purge a message without?
Oh, Brian did it
Oh.
for me. Thanks. Thanks,
It
man.
doesn't purge it from the app that I'm using, but that's cool that you can do that.
Appreciate you
Can you purge
being
them?
on that.
You have to time them out.
There is a way.
No, I think you can just purge the
We do not time
Yeah.
Mickey out.
chat. No, we do not time Mickey out.
Yeah, that part too, so-called. Actually, Salt Lake's not that bad. We have good diversity and stuff here.
Dude. I thought
In the
gay
city,
people weren't allowed
not
in
the
Salt
state.
Lake City.
Oh, Salt Lake City is one of the havens for
Really?
gay people. Yeah, oh yeah.
That's cool.
One of the best places voted for gay people.
Oh, how nice. It's not a great place for beer drinkers, though, am I right? You have to drink that watered down stuff.
Yeah, the watered down for sure sucks. Like, for sure. The only way to get non-watered down is go to the liquor store. And then it's not cold when you buy it, so you can't buy it and then start drinking it right away.
That's a bummer.
So that's garbage. Also, some weird laws. I know a lot of states have weird alcohol laws, but Utah has a lot of them.
Yeah, well...
Yes, we deleted the dump message, and from now on we would delete all dump messages.
Indeed.
Yep.
Let's keep this a dump-free stream.
Well, you can come to Canada, Rainbow. There's snow here. Let's see. Swizzles is here. He says, "Is it hot in here? Is it me?" Living Dead Girl says, "Cold as balls here." So
miss you, Mongbox.
Tyler, Dry City.
Oh, cool. Swizzler brought his girlfriend along. That's Living Dead Girl.
I've been.
Finn Forever says hello.
Welcome, Finn Forever.
Yeah.
Trophy.
Mongbox gotta go. She said night, guys.
Yeah. This is unofficially for Windows Central, Finn. So Paul Acevedo, you'll know best from his appearances on Windows Central. But this is only on his personal stream. And, yeah, it's a PlayStation game, so Windows Central does not, I don't know what the word is.
Endorse?
Not like you're banned from posting about it. It's just not content that Windows Central.
Yeah, I mean, technically nobody could stop me from streaming whatever the crap I wanted, but if later on they might be like, Paul, why'd you do that? And so you don't do that.
Right. And it makes sense. You guys have your area that you focus on. That's, how it goes. And you've made a great little niche for yourself in that area.
We do alright, man. I just wish we could get the word out about the Onigiri thing a little better. But again, that is kind of a failure on my part, because right after we did that stream, normally I would have been promoting it after the fact, but then I had India right after that, so you know how it is. When she comes down, then typically other things fall by the wayside for a while. Play the episode alone, yeah. But yeah, I wish if we did something cool in the gaming space, like something memorable, that it would just automatically get noticed, but just not enough people, not enough general gaming people consider us to be a gaming resource or know about us. The people who do know about us think of us as a gaming resource, but it's getting the word out to beyond that. We need to work on that, don't we?
Why would you pick Saskatoon?
Oh.
I don't know.
Everyone wants to go to Saskatoon, Canada.
I mean, because it's second only to funny names. You go to Saskatoon, but the best funny name place to go is Regina.
I've always wanted to visit Regina.
Yeah, it's good. It's big.
Can you add me on what, Finn Forever? If you mean PlayStation Network, then
yes,
certainly.
What are you, just East X?
Yes.
Oh, sure. I guess it does.
Oh man, it's so hard to find, Paul.
It really is hard, because PlayStation's
PlayStation
totally boneheaded search algorithm.
Yeah, you're better off finding someone else and adding him from his friend list.
I will be right back, guys. Please keep the conversation going.
So Adam, you can tell me about this, because I know you are just like an absolute buffed out, hulking mass of a man.
Yeah.
So I started taking a strengthening and toning class today, and it sucked. Like, my legs are so dead from doing squats. So, any tips, any hints, any recommendations?
Don't do it.
Just don't do it?
Stop doing it.
Yeah, that's what.
Sit down.
That's where I'm leaning.
Eat a box of ding dongs and forget you even tried it.
A whole box?
Just eat a box, man.
Yeah.
You eat a box of ding dongs, and suddenly all your other problems seem minuscule.
It's like, remember
you're faced with an empty box of ding dongs.
Yeah.
Wondering where your life.
That's true.
You're wondering where your life is gone. What have you done to get to this point? You're like, well, my legs used to hurt, but now I'm just wondering if I'm gonna get past this day.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just gonna end it tonight.
10 ding dongs.
Take a long hot shower.
Yeah. The chances of survival got to be less than 100% after you eat a whole box of ding dongs in one sitting, right?
Yeah, man. I would just dig in.
Okay. Thank you for the suggestion.
Did I forget to mute?
All right. Anybody else want some health and exercise tips? Go ahead and ask. I'm here.
That's right. Zero on Twitch is here to help.
That's right.
It appears he suggests suicide over working
Whoa.
out. So
Zero, tell us about how you deal with your grays, man. How do you deal with
what?
your grays? Yeah,
My
your
grays?
you have gray hair.
Oh, I do have a little bit on
Yeah.
the side.
What do you do with it?
I tell my hair cutter, who says don't call me a hair cutter. I didn't go to school to
Yeah,
be called a
sorry.
hair cutter. I tell her to cut them off, and then she tells me to F off.
Aw.
Yeah, that's our relationship.
So sorry about not muting properly when I got up, you guys. Captain Crow.
That's
We'll
okay. We were talking
survive
about
somehow.
ding dongs.
How appropriate.
So you're in chorus, so you don't have to do gym. That's a crazy
Wow.
trade-off. I can understand chorus being like your art music requirement, but not gym or computer typing.
By the way, I'm playing with a Brazilian
yeah.
player now.
Nice. I'm trying to get a little bit healthier. Maybe work out a couple times a week.
We'll
see how that goes.
Typing turned out to be one of the best classes I ever took in high school. Like
Yep,
I still remember most of it. Like
you remember mostly how to type still?
I do. Like I don't I'm not necessarily perfect in my positioning, but
can you do the top row?
I'm way better.
The numbers.
Oh yeah, I can do the top row.
No, the numbers.
Oh, the numbers? No.
No, you just
I
use
just
the keypad,
stop
right?
and
Or hand
wiggle
back.
my hand around until I find the number and hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, you're flying by. I went to the store and there were so many people there, and I bought five different things. And then you just went again, so, yeah.
You know, I didn't retain any of that stuff, and I really wish I had, considering that my job involves a lot of typing.
Are you a two-finger
Yeah,
typer?
I am.
Oh
I
my
might mix
God.
in other fingers,
Alright.
but I'm still doing it while looking at the keyboard. Yeah.
Wow.
Not ideal, but
crazy.
I'm able to type relatively
Not that hard.
fast.
I mean, yeah, you probably got it down, but with as much as you type, you probably got a pretty good strategy down, but
Yeah, that's just amazing to me.
Another
yeah,
trick.
I was able to type by the time I even got into typing class, just from at home, working on it a little bit.
Hey Brian, was it a ska band?
Brian was in a ska band?
I don't know. He's in a band, and I'm gonna
It
go.
says
I'm,
he was
I'm
in-
going on a limb, and I'm gonna say. it
Brian,
was
you
a
didn't
ska
tell us that
band.
you were in
No,
the
he's
Mighty
saying
Mighty
he
Boss
He
Tones.
was in band. He was in band, so band class. So he probably plays the stupid
Brian,
trumpet.
did you ever have to knock? Well,
Oh,
a
he's
ska
in
band,
band.
trumpet. Brian, did you ever have to knock on wood, or do you know someone who has? These are references to ska.
I get that.
I get it as well. And I don't like that
Fonz,
song.
I love that song.
Hey Paul, do you have Jack and Daxter for Vita?
I do not.
Is that the original Jack and Daxter?
Isn't it kind of a crummy port?
It is quite crummy from what I've
Oh,
heard.
that's too bad.
I've experienced it firsthand. PS3 port's good.
Did you play those games,
I never did.
Tyler?
Only the original.
Just the original? The original is awesome. The original
Yeah,
Jack and
I've
Daxter
heard
is
the
pretty
original
neat.
is the best. I really like
2 is cool. I found it to be very frustrating. It's the one and only game that cost me a controller. Although the controller was like, there was a problem with one of the buttons, so it was kind of.
Yeah.
But I had put
Yeah,
out.
but even back in the day, people said it was too hard.
It was very different.
Driving controls. Or
I did
something.
finish
Hey,
it.
good job.
Is that what pissed you off? The driving stuff, or is it other stuff?
I can't remember. There was at least one specific part that really. You know what? And it had to do with the button that was kind of half working. So I'd push it, and sometimes it would work, and sometimes it didn't, and eventually
Yeah.
I just smashed
It's
it.
like, all right. Yeah, well, that's a
Like,
good
I've had
thing.
enough.
Force yourself to get a
Should
new
learn how to
controller.
fix controllers, man.
No. No. And part 3 was cool, but I didn't play all the way through.
Yeah, I've only played the original. I really enjoyed it.
You know what I can never get past is the hideous character designs. Like every one of the characters, be it Jack or Daxter, look like horrible, ugly monsters to me. So,
Daxter looks
not to
fine.
me they don't. Like they're. Ugh.
They're little like if you're looking at the first game, they're a little simplistic model wise. Like I don't think they have quite the, they're not quite as advanced as they would get later on in the other games.
It's
I think
the
they're-
actual character designs that I don't like. Like, it's not the models themselves; it's the character designs. But yeah, I'm picky about
I
that
mean,
kind
it's
of
just
thing.
it's just the
Yeah,
dude
like,
jumping
Yeah, like they
around,
couldn't.
you know?
I don't think they. That's the kind of game where they were to release it in Japan. They probably would actually change the character model. Like they used to do that for some American games, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did it for Jack and Daxter. I don't know that they did.
I don't know. That game plays excellently though, so it's,
I believe you.
if you're gonna play any of those games, the first one, it's totally worth it.
Well, if Tyler ever loans it to me, then I'll play it.
Okay.
Oh man, the digital
Oh,
version.
thanks for nothing, Tyler.
Light Cycle is taking off.
We'll miss
Say
you,
goodbye to
Light
Light
Cycle.
Cycle, guys.
I did already.
It's time to have the Miller Lite light cycle. Let it send you
Just
right
too
off to
busy
sleep.
talking.
Nah.
I get like that with beer too.
Hey, no, grammar is important, as long as we're polite about it. But everyone needs to know what I couldn't care less means and why you never say I could care less. Unless you're a dummy.
Because if you could care less, then
Yes.
you could care less. You're not
Oh
at
my
the
God.
minimum
What do
level
the
of
things
care.
I say mean? I don't know. I just say them without thinking about it.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. I actually agree. I've always wondered about that saying.
Let me tell you, more than once in Metal Gear Solid 2, or maybe it's the first one. It might be the first one. It is I could care less. It's written that way, and the lines are read
Mistake.
that way.
But here's what frustrates me. Even the wonderful movie Guardians of the Galaxy makes that exact same mistake. And I bet it's intentional, but you should not do that because people will hear it and not know that they will think that's just how it goes, you know? Like, it's...
Yeah, but most of the people that watch Guardians of the Galaxy don't care.
No, that's not the point. I want people need to learn the right way to say it. Like, you don't encourage people to do things wrong. It's not like if it's, for instance, if it's like ain't, we know ain't is not grammatically correct, but we all know that. So you can say ain't in a show.
Yeah, but I
and
think
nobody-
isn't that in the dictionary now?
I
Can't we use it?
mean, I guess you could, but it's still colloquial.
Yeah, but I
People
mean,
know it's not
something
proper
being in the
grammar.
right, and dictionaries add words that you shouldn't use
Just
anyway.
because they become too
whether or
common.
not it's a dictionary. Yeah, it's dictionary to define relevant terms, whether or not you should actually use them.
Oh, yeah. No,
It
it
is.
isn't. I don't know. Did they add? No. Wait a minute. Not irregardless.
Don't do that to me.
Like
yeah,
irregardless.
that's the stupidest one.
You don't
That's
like
even
the word
worse than couldn't
irregardless?
care
I
less.
prefer-
You know, I could
irregardless.
care less if you like the word
Aw.
irregardless.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could.
Irregardless, he cared for the dog. I don't know.
You know, I was just thinking about it. We probably should have had
Okay.
Icky on mic because he knows what's happening and no one else
Yeah,
does.
that was
But
stuff.
that's all right.
I was gonna go back to Metal Gear. So I was playing Metal Gear 3, and I went to save for the first time, and then this chick went on a 10-minute spiel about the movie Godzilla.
Yes.
And
How is that not
No.
awesome?
but then also like, oh, don't worry, Snake, in 2004 you'll get more of Godzilla. That'll be the 50th anniversary of the movie. And then I was like, why would anyone think about something 40 years in the future? Like, do I think about movies that came out 10 years ago and think about their 50th anniversary?
That's not how you're supposed to. I mean, that's not how you watch. That's not how you play.
Adam,
You know,
that's the bad
Tyler,
writing we were
then-
talking about.
I went to save again, and she started talking about another movie.
Yeah, she did.
I was like, are you kidding me? So much dialogue.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
just
there
a way
was
of
a lot.
wasting the player's time.
No,
Yeah,
it's not
It's
wasting the player's time.
intentionally
It
wasting
makes
it.
one.
No, it's super
Oh.
entertaining.
You can skip. I will give it. Like, you can skip to the whole thing in a couple seconds. So
Yeah, but it's also very entertaining.
You shouldn't have to.
It
You
is.
shouldn't have to skip it all.
I want to play the game. I
No,
don't.
you don't have to. You what? Okay, well here's one thing I will say about Metal Gear. If you find the story, if you don't like the story, or if you actually actively, if it actually actively turns you off, you probably shouldn't play the game because that game is as much about the story.
But I
as
hear
it is
5
about
has
playing
real
the game.
gameplay. They accidentally put some gameplay in there. That's what I heard.
Yeah, but that's not. I mean,
I still doubt that. I'll play.
Everyone
Ground
keeps saying
Zeroes
it, but
and
it's
see.
hard to say. You did play Ground Zeroes, or you didn't, Tyler?
No,
Oh,
I said I will if I decide I want to buy 5. Because I agree that 5 looks
Yeah.
interesting. But I've been suckered. I thought 2 and 3 looked interesting. I liked 1. I liked 1 a lot.
But I mean, all the reviews I read about, they talk about gameplay things. Like, none of them are focused on the story. They all just say, by the way, the story is still stupid, and then they just talk about the gameplay, and they make it sound so good. Because the gameplay sounds really clever and fresh.
I think they're...
It's just a big open world, though.
Metal Gear Solid 5 was always getting 9s and 10s. It was never not going to get.
But I mean,
9s and
no,
10s.
Adam, what sounds so good about it is that it's less rigid. Like, you can go into a mission or whatever, and you can handle it multiple different ways, and it doesn't feel like you're messing up if you don't play it the stealthy way or whatever. You have options.
Well, that is true, except that there are options.
But it's still less rigid.
Yeah, you're probably right in that case. But there are more than you think in Metal Gear. In fact, lots of little things that you don't realize, like the ways you can use your equipment, and ways you can tackle the different obstacles. There's a lot of options and variety in there if you look for it.
I don't like that.
Yep. Okay, that's fine.
Another trophy. Man, I'm
Okay.
cleaning up on these bronze trophies
Yeah.
for things I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I tried.
Now you know what, and I totally get it. In fact, I tried all the Metal Gears, or the first 3, long time ago, and since then, a few more times each, I kept trying to get into them, and there was something about the controls I just could not
Like
wrap
how
my head
they're
around.
awful in part 2? Because I hear they are.
Well, but they're not really awful. That's the thing, is that what happened is it needed to click with me. It just needed to, suddenly it just, everything dawned on me, everything became clear. I understood what I was doing. And so, yeah. That's fine.
Okay, if you say
I do
so.
it. Yeah, I do say so.
I'm making the mistake of
It's
listening.
certainly not standard controls, it's not...
No, the controls are another thing that is not my favorite, and I think you learn them. But man, it has no desire to
It's kind of like going back to Shenmue, because everyone says
Although-
that Shenmue's controls are really antiquated.
I never played
Yeah,
that.
me neither. I'm going too much by hearsay, and I'm sure I would agree if I play the thing, but it's still not a good way to base an argument.
I played the crap out of Shenmue, and I think it's probably fine. I mean, there's only one analog stick, right? So the camera is just, hit a button to
That's
center
part of
it
the
kind
problem,
thing.
but I hear that 3 of the different inputs make him walk, and there's only one way to run or something. I don't know. I was hearing about how strange they are. They don't make a lot of sense based on game.
If I recall,
design.
it's the analog makes you walk, and pushing the right trigger or the left trigger, one of those triggers makes you run.
Yeah, it sounds crazy.
I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's mostly just a walking around talking to people.
But if they were
game,
to re-release it, which I still can't believe they haven't done, then they should just add a modern control option that truly modernizes them, and then everything would be fine.
I mean, certainly they could put the
I
camera on the other stick. So.
Yeah, at
Yes.
minimum you gotta do that, and then just. But the walking and running thing, it sounds like it's kind of awkward.
It's not really. I mean, you just push a button to run, then you stop pushing it and you walk.
See, Brian agrees that the controls haven't aged well. Thank you, Brian.
Brian.
Once again,
Brian.
Brian has to lay the smackdown on Adam.
I have a Dreamcast debate right here, right now. Things are gonna get ugly.
Oh, what game is Steve Rules talking about? Playing something on the 360 now that used to be a PSP
I
game.
didn't understand what
Yeah,
you were
that sounds.
talking
They ported PW to the PS3. What, Peace Walker? Is that what he means? Yeah, Metal
Talking
Gear
about
Peace Walker. That's what it is.
Peace Walker, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Oh man, that's the thing too. Is I want to try to get I want to try to get a hold of Portable Ops. It's only available in
Really?
Europe
That's so
on
lame.
the PlayStation Store. It's a PSP game, so I could play it on the TV, PlayStation TV, except that I can only get it from the Europe store.
Well, it's only, I mean, so good about it. What's so good
What?
about it?
Well, it's one of the canon Metal Gear games.
But, I mean, that canon just sounds really dumb,
Hey,
man.
Griff.
You know, there's a lot of dumb about it, but it's in the same way that I find Resident Evil fascinating, like to actually try to figure out the story. I love trying to figure out the story of Metal Gear, and it really does actually, kind of, in a way, eventually make sense. You want to talk about Resident Evil?
Yeah, well, I
can
mean,
talk
everyone
about
knows
Talk about the
I
story of
don't
Resident
appreciate
Evil.
the story of Resident Evil, and it actively
Oh,
turns
Resident
me
Evil's
away
so
from the
bad.
games nowadays. I got too old for it. Something. Ah,
I
How
like
many of the old Resident Evil games are out? Just one on the new consoles? Is it just the original
yeah,
Resident Evil that's out now?
until Zero
All
and Part 2 are also coming, though.
Right, but so 0 and 2 have both been announced,
Yeah.
is that correct? Okay, just double
Oh,
check.
wait, what do you mean out?
Available on modern consoles,
Like
is
they've
what
made
it means.
HD versions
Yeah.
of them.
Well, you must be able to get. Oh, you mean on a PS4?
Yeah,
or
you can
something
play
like
the
that?
classic
Right, yeah,
games on
PS2
Vita or
exclusively
PS3.
on Xbox One version.
Yeah, the classic games are on PS3 and Vita.
Right, yeah, through the backwards compatibility to the
Are
store.
we-
Not road
Yeah,
backwards
Oh great, people are
compatibility.
speaking German in the chat now. We've really lost them. That's what we get for talking about Metal
Okay,
Gear so
we're
much.
popping in.
Oh, she's still all
Trying
to
to
send.
Steer everyone away.
She's saying
Oh,
goodbye.
did she have to go?
Never talked about Metal
Oh.
Gear. Metal Gear. Yeah, she said goodbye a long
Oh,
time
we'll
ago.
miss you,
Metal Gear will
Rainbow.
never
Thank you for stopping by.
entertain or excite anyone. We have to remember that.
Well,
Yeah.
if it says hi, but
Sorry,
you can't
Adam.
stay, you want to say hi.
Oh my gosh. When you're playing these little story events happen and the way they just completely take over the screen like that, although that is manga-like, it for me it's really confusing. I'm just like, what the heck's happening? Have you guys happened to catch any of those on the stream? You too busy looking at other things. Sometimes it gets
I'm trying to catch up with
yeah.
chat
Sometimes
here.
just the whole screen gets taken over by comic panels while the cinematic's going on, and it's weird. Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen that. You like it or
I
you don't
I
like
don't
You
like
usually
it,
don't
but
like
if
those stuff.
I guess maybe if I was really into the comic presentation, then I might feel differently. But for me, it's confusing. But anyway, Rainbow, it has been great having you back. It's great to see some of you guys who we don't get to talk to very much on the weekends.
Now she's going back on her. Now she's saying she just said bye for a little bit.
Oh, she was just practicing saying goodbye, but she's staying? Ah, look at what Luffy's doing. He's stretching his neck out. Oh god, Mr. Fantastic. See, this is what the Fantastic Four movie should have been, instead of whatever the heck
I heard it. I heard the new one's really great.
You did not. Dude.
I'm sure someone out
Oh
there
man,
that
it's
said
such a huge flop. Critics and audiences alike hated it. I didn't even go see it, and normally I would have, but I'm afraid just it was too much. As an example of what they got wrong, they had Ben Grimm, who is the lovable rock guy. They had him working for the
I'll
government,
be back in
killing
1
people.
second, guys.
Sure, which is not something he would ever do. He's the nicest guy in the world. But no, that movie had severe production issues, and basically Fox took the movie away from the director, Josh Trank, and filmed a completely different third act than what he filmed. And so the third act does not even fit in with the movie. It's a train wreck.
So I've heard.
Yeah, I want to see it out of curiosity, but I'm not going to pay money to see it. Maybe if it was at Redbox, I guess that would be fine. $1, I would pay that.
Yeah, there you go. Netflix.
Yep. Be right back.
Okay, I have to host all by myself. So now I've got the mic, so I can make sure we don't talk about Metal Gear Solid. I can talk about other games I've played. Oh, I bought Mad Max. Anyone getting Mad Max, or anyone already picked up Mad Max and played Mad Max for a while? I have it. I mean, I picked it up at lunch today, but then I had to work all day. Then I went to work out, and then I came home and did the stream.
Do you know, let me tell you my Mad Max story real quick. That was not a pee break, okay? I was fetching a drink.
It was a beer
you.
break. Get it right.
However,
so
those
called.
two things do go hand in hand. I'm sure you'll agree. Yes.
They do. But we're not supposed to talk about it, otherwise Icky will get bad ideas.
That's right. We have to teach Icky the right way to talk. No, my Mad Max story is this. Jonathan wants to review Mad Max for our site, and Jez was supposed to get him a review copy. He either failed or dropped the ball or something, and so then he told me that I need to do it, although I'm way behind on other things, so it was not a priority for me. But I did email my contact at Warner Brothers, and then today I got a reply saying that my contact no longer works there, so now I have a new contact, which at least they give me a new one.
Good.
But they're not handling the PR for that game, somebody else is.
Ah, did they at least need a PR company?
So it ended up being a dead end. And I did a web search. Normally what I would do in these cases is I would do a web search for a press release for that game and see what contacts were attached to that. But I did one and nothing came up. Or maybe the results were too confusing to easily parse.
Warner Brothers seems like it might be one of the toughest big developer publishers to get ingrained with.
Well, normally they use 47 for their PR, and 47 is really hard to deal with. So that's one...
They're hard to deal with?
If you get a good person at 47, like, I do have a few good people there, say they handle... But they handle one publisher's games, these good people. So then you need another publisher's game, and it's like you have to start over from scratch.
Gotcha. So everyone's assigned like a different publisher, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, the fact that they would even use a different PR company for individual games makes it even harder than just having to get an in with Warner Brothers. So.
Yep. And I've kind of found that weird. Like, who was it? Oh, it was someone who was working with Curve on one game, but then didn't work with them on the next one. So, I mean, I don't know if like that's just kind of how it goes if they make these contracts on a game-by-game basis, but I don't know. Was it? Yeah, it was Curve Digital. It was someone who was handling the Stealth Inc. 2 game.
Oh yeah, I guess sometimes Curve mostly does things in-house, but they do farm some of the projects out to different PR companies.
Right.
And quit picking on me, Brian. That's not nice.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Shadow of Mordor. I have high hopes for Mad Max, so we'll see. I'll play through it for a while. I'll trade it in if I'm not really digging it, so we'll see. I have too much other stuff to play. Not have to play. I actually don't have anything.
Wait, what are you not digging?
But I really want to. Really, I said I'll trade in Mad Max
if you're not. Okay.
I'm not digging it. Yeah, I haven't started it, but I really want to get to Super Time Force. I've been waiting for that game for a long, long time.
Ooh.
This is the first time it's been on the P station.
Wait a long time.
It is indeed.
It was not on the PS3?
No.
Okay.
Nope, Capybara seems to be an Xbox first, PlayStation second developer.
I'm gonna pick Dreamlog by now, guys.